The Rhino-Rack Vortex 2500 RS 2-bar roof rack in black is available for any 2015 or newer F-150 owner who's looking to maximize their cargo space by adding some storage capabilities to the roof with a rack that's capable for light off-road usage. This has a few different benefits and is compatible with most accessories, and the installation isn't going to require you to drill or cut into your truck, so expect 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter, which I'll talk about later on in the video. You should absolutely be checking out this roof rack if you're using your F-150 to do a lot of off-road or cross-country adventures that require a lot of hauling. Basically, that can include camping, skiing, biking, kayaking, or other water sports, which require the use of bigger racks and brackets. This way you can free up some room in the bed for other things like luggage, fishing gear, or whatever else you might need to haul, and you won't have to use the back seats for storage, which often take up and make it inconvenient for your passengers who need some space in the back there. The design of this rack was specifically done to make sure that the wind noise, drag, and rattling are not a factor. Everything was built to connect and tightly seal so there's no wiggle room, which would ultimately become pretty annoying. Some of the other tubular designs don't sit flush like this, so it can be problematic. Now, they're called Vortex bars for a reason. They're engineered to reduce wind drag while providing the most support possible, extending the width of your truck. Each set has a 165-pound load rating, which is pretty decent considering the average kayak weighs about 50 pounds and the average bike weighs about 15 to 20 pounds. They have glass-reinforced nylon legs for strength, and each kit includes 2 crossbars and mounting legs. They bolt right onto your roof without modifications, and they can be easily removed if you ever want to go back to the stock look or they're not in use. They even offer a locking cap on each bar to prevent them from getting stolen, which adds a ton of value in my personal opinion. Rhino-Rack offers a few different variations of the Vortex roof rack. There isn't anything too different between the few different ones they do offer, but the RS version I have here I think is a bit more aerodynamic since it sits lower and it doesn't have extending sides like the non-RS version. But they're all doing the same job with the same weight rating, so it does come down to personal preference. They're also offered in silver if the black one isn't really doing it for you, and you can pick the one I have up here for just about 400 bucks. This is going to be one of the more expensive options since it does have the wind reducing quality that most options do not account for, and they accept most accessories as I mentioned earlier. The installation again is a direct bolt-on, no modifications or drilling needed to get the job done, which you can tackle in about 15 to 20 minutes or so in your driveway. This just goes to show how easily they can be mounted and removed whenever you need them to be. The only tool you'll need is the security Allen key provided for you in the kit, although I would recommend having measuring tape on deck to help evenly distribute the racks on your roof for proper installation. This one definitely gets 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. The first thing you want to do is use the key provided in the kit to unlock the caps on the crossbar legs. Clip the rubber pad to the foot plate with the left arrow facing out. There are labels in the kit to help you later identify which is the rear right and left legs and the front right and left, so you can place those inside the crossbars after removing the caps. Put the crossbars into position on your roof and measure the proper distance from the section between the front and rear doors, and then the distance between the crossbars from the center of the foot plate on each bar. The directions will help with this a lot if you're not understanding what I'm explaining, because I know it can be a bit confusing. Attach the metal clamp to the foot and then screw the bolt into the pivot nut, and then attach the other end to the door jamb and fasten them down. Make sure you evenly distribute the tension on each side so they're not pulling in one direction more so than the other. The torque specs are laid out in the manual as well. Reattach the foot plate and then lock them down, then you're good to go. Well, that just about wraps this one up, so if you're the owner of a 2015 or newer F-150, you might want to check out the Rhino-Rack 2500 Vortex RS roof rack in black, which you can find right here at AmericanTrucks.com.